We're going to get back to the basics. What are the things that men do that repel their wives? What are the things that men do that repel women in general? And how can you just stop repelling them? The thing is guys are usually way more attractive than they realize. They're just doing dumb shit that pushes women away. They essentially talk her out of liking him. Your wife married you for a reason. She loved you. She thought you were the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then over time, she lost interest in you and she stopped wanting to sleep with you. It's because over time, you started talking her out of liking you. And in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 ways that men do this and how you can turn this around immediately. All you have to do is change the way you operate and everything changes. So anyways, stick around for the whole video. My name is Ed Baxter and I help guys in betrayal situations. The process of being with a woman for 50 years or a woman that you're dating is pretty much the same. For us, it's just science. Because we know the patterns, we know the solutions. It's not that complicated. You have to make a commitment for yourself. That's what it means to be in Soul Seducer program. That's what it means to work with me directly. So that you can learn to handle your emotions, so you can learn to see right into a woman's soul and seduce her from within, to create this garden that she can actually thrive in. We'll get you to that place where you make the right decision for you and your chick. The thing that's underlying all of this is most men don't value their contribution to the world at all. They don't find themselves intrinsically valuable. And so they have to perform and do things for people's approval. And when you do this, there's a sense that you just don't really deserve love. And so then on the other hand of this, we do this game of manipulation where we try to be what she wants. We try to overcompensate with doing all these things that you think that she wants. And so this ends up coming up in 5 different ways. And if we can root out the cause of this, that, hey, you are enough and that you don't need to perform for approval, and you can just let all that shit go and stop trying to impress women, it solves the problem. So the first one is a bunch of compliments, needy compliments. And so a needy compliment is something where you say, you're so beautiful, but really what you're looking for is her to light up. You're telling her things to hopefully get a response from her, and then she'll approve of you. And so it's not like you're not really complimenting her from the heart, from this place of genuine desire and being unapologetically yourself. You're complimenting her from a place of fear. And she will feel this. Make no mistake, if you're coming from a place of insecurity, your woman's going to feel it. Oftentimes, my wife can sense something going on within me before I even notice it. And I'm also often wondering, did you implant this emotion in me, or did it just come up and you noticed it quicker than I did? And I'm always like, what's going on here? But over time, I realized, yeah, she's just super intuitive. She feels the energy shift before I even say anything. Most women, if they're in tune with themselves, can figure this out as well. And it becomes kind of like this weird, spooky superpower. And so you learn in a marriage to honor that. But at the same time, knowing that they can do this, you're going to run into this situation where they're going to already tell that you're needy before you even open your fucking mouth. This is why I tell a guy, if you're in a needy state, if you're in a needy, approval-seeking mode, don't even send a text message. You could just send a text message, hey, I hope you're doing great. Looking forward to see you this weekend. And he's coming from a needy state. She'd be like, oh, he needs to see me right now. Can he give me any space? And it's like, but if you're in a confident state, she'll read that and be like, oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Because there's no pull on her. There's no need for her to make you feel better. And so these behaviors, these needy behaviors are telling her, I need you to make me feel better about myself because I can't do it for myself. And what this does is puts this huge burden on her to make you feel better. You've made her the entire reason you can be happy with your life. And now she's like, his entire view of himself and his life is now on my shoulders. No woman wants that responsibility, nor should she have that. And this indicates a guy who is very weak internally. He cannot self-start. He cannot move himself forward. What happens is a guy like this, let's say he loses his job, he's going to fall into a depression. Why? Because he's going to hinge his own intrinsic value on his ability to make money. And now this woman has to prop him up like his mom. And no woman wants to be your mother. She's trying to be your lover. Which leads to the second one is you emotionally overshare all the time. Guys will look at their wives like a therapist because he doesn't have enough social interaction with other guys, he doesn't have other friends, or maybe he just needs a therapist. And so he overshares all the things that are going on with him. And he's just pontificating, or he's just talking out loud, and he's just like, I just need a sounding board. I'm just talking about, yeah, what should I do this? I'm all upset and depressed and all this. And she doesn't see the end result of the solution. So you make your wife your therapist, then she starts to see you as a weak guy because, well, you're demonstrating that you don't have your shit together. And she doesn't need to know all the inner workings of your mind. In fact, less is more. There needs to have some sort of novelty about you. There needs to be some sort of mystery on how you work. And when you just share all this stuff, you don't get to be the strong guy. In fact, you're ruining the innocence of your marriage. If you have your wife and you want her to stay calm and happy and feminine, and you want her to be able to be fully present with your children, why are you injecting all this worry from yourself onto her? Now she's going to pick that up, and she's going to start worrying about this shit, and she's going to want to take care of you. Now she's going to get stressed out, and she's going to wonder if you can hold it all together, and she's going to wonder if you're going to fall apart. And then in this space, she realizes that since you're so overwhelmed all the time, she really can't speak up for how she's really feeling. She doesn't want to put any more on your plate. I can't tell him about this. He's already stressed out. I got to keep this to myself. Now she's protecting you. And you reverse the role of the situation, and now you're wondering why she doesn't want to sleep with you. She's like, yeah, because you demonstrated that you're weak. You're demonstrating that you don't have emotional control, emotional resiliency. And she's saying that, well, I don't feel seen, heard, and understood in this relationship. It's always all about him. Anytime I bring something up, it's all about him. And you run into this situation where you're trying to talk to her about it. No, okay, baby, talk to me. And you get more insecure because she'll withhold more information from you. She'll withhold dialogue and stuff because she's like, what's the point? You're just going to make it about you. Because everything's about your emotionality. So when she tells you this, you'll start to over-apologize, which is the third thing, over-apologizing. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. She don't need a fucking apology. And she'll probably get upset at you for apologizing. She's like, stop apologizing. Just make the pivot. Stop talking about shit and just change. And so when you keep apologizing about stuff, you're just demonstrating to her that you don't have any intrinsic value, that you're always wrong, that you're always making a mistake, and you don't own anything. You don't just move forward with power. You need permission to do anything. And when you're over-apologizing all the time, you're just apologizing for breathing the fucking air. And I run into guys like this sometimes in Soul Seducer, and I'm like, why are you apologizing? Stop apologizing. I'll just get on to him. I say, dude, that shit's annoying. Stop apologizing. Then he'll start to hear it. You're coming off as a pussy. Sometimes you have to talk to guys like this because they need to hear it that way so they get a visceral reaction like, ugh! When you get that visceral reaction within them, they will make the change. They don't ever tell me that I'm an asshole, although sometimes I feel like one when I have to do this. But hey, that makes the change, and that's what's required. And then he starts noticing it. Oh, I don't want to be that way. I don't want to be that way. And he stops doing it. Oh, I guess I don't have to keep apologizing. Then he starts realizing, hey, maybe it's okay to breathe air around this person. Or maybe it's okay to just be how I am. Maybe I don't have to apologize for everything. In fact, guys learn to over-apologize thinking that the apology is what the woman wants. The woman doesn't want the apology. She wants the pivot. Stop talking about it and just change. This is one of the reasons why your woman never apologizes for anything, because she doesn't look at it the same way as you do. You say, hey, woman, I don't like this thing going on. She's not going to say I'm sorry necessarily unless she's like being really mean to you. And she'll just say, okay, and maybe she'll be quiet about it just to save face, and then she'll just change. And really, at the end of the day, that's all you really care about. Guys are always like, I need the apology from her. It's like, no, you just want to beat her into submission, dude. That's not really what you need here. You just need to change. You just need to pivot. Really, that's what you want. It's just you just don't want her to do that thing anymore, right? He's like, yeah, okay, cool. Then just leave it alone. Because this is how she's acting towards you. She doesn't need your apologies. She needs a pivot. The other one is saying yes to everything. That's number 4. You, being a people pleaser, you're afraid to tell anybody no, which means you say yes to everything, which means there's no room for what you want ever at any time. You think that being this martyr and just being what everybody else wants makes you a good person, and it doesn't. It just makes you a pushover, and you just exclude yourself from your own life. Why is everybody else doing what they want, but you don't? And often, in fact, you speaking up and telling people what you want, they're like, hell yeah, we can do something different and new. All right, John finally came out of the fucking woodwork. Let's hang out. But you're too afraid to say anything because you don't want to rock the boat. You think that they're going to just like, this guy's an idiot, well, why would we do that? And you get up in your head, and you have this total war within, which keeps you from actually emoting unapologetically and letting people get to know the real version of you. So you're just kind of stingy in your part. Like, you're not allowing people to connect with you. Yet at the same time, you feel isolated and alone, and you're causing it to yourself. Number 5, the last one, is playing it safe. You walk on eggshells. You try to anticipate other people's needs before they do. And so you're always trying to be the guy who is always playing it safe, doing these things. You dress the same as everybody else. You have no edge about you because you're afraid that any kind of unapologetic expression or any kind of expression at all, you're going to get admonished. You're going to be called a loser. You're going to be called whatever. And what we teach guys to do is all these quirks that you have to own the fuck out of them. Not only own them, but put them on display. That's what makes you interesting to talk to. That's what makes you fun. That makes you weird and quirky. And these are the things that people can latch onto. They can't latch onto Mr. Pink Polo shirt with the khaki pants on that acts like every other douchebag out there. No, you got to be a unique version of you. You want to endeavor to unleash your style, unleash who you are, talk about your weirdnesses, talk about your quirks, own every bit of you. Your woman is going to accept you only as much as you're willing to accept yourself. If you own everything about yourself, it's going to be really hard for her to admonish you. Because if she did and you owned it, you wouldn't feel it as a reflection of you. You would see her just as judgmental. Anyways, brother, I hope this has helped you. Be sure to look at this over and over again if you have to. You got to root these behaviors out of your life. They're not attractive for you. They're not attractive for her. And it's just going to cause you more and more problems. You're going to be isolated and alone the more that you keep falling into these traps. If you want to learn how to get around this really fucking fast, check out Soul Seducer. It is in the link in the description below. Subscribe. You want to see more of these videos, hit the like button. If you want to just pop up in your feed, share it to your friends. The guy in your life that you know probably needs this more than you. Anyways, brother, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.